Hey, I'm Rachel, and I'm 17. One evening, I was doing what I always do, playing my favorite video game and streaming it. But then I opened an email. Congratulations, you've been selected to participate in the closed beta test of the video game Genesis. At first, I thought it was spam. But once I realized it was real, I immediately ran to my parents and told them all about it. I made it into the focus group. I'll be one of the first people to test the game the entire world has been waiting for. My parents rolled their eyes. They couldn't stand my obsession with gaming. To them, it was nothing but a waste of time. But I dreamed of becoming a game developer someday. So this invitation was my chance to prove that gaming is serious business. Oh, and the studio is paying a huge fee for the testing. Plus, I'll get early access and a bunch of gifts from the sponsors. In the end, the only word my parents cared about was fee. So when the time came, I showed up at the meeting point with my backpack, where a bus was waiting to pick us up. As I walked down the aisle, I started counting the focus group members in my head, including me. There were 15 of us. But here's where things got interesting. I was the only girl there. And all that attention made me a little uncomfortable.
That backpack looks heavy. Let me help you with it.
Thanks. Then again, everyone seemed pretty friendly. No reason to worry. The second I thought that, some jerk stuck out his foot and tripped me. And he ended up crashing right into another guy. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Don't apologize. I saw Alex trip you. Hey bro, nobody ever teach you not to treat girls like that? What? Just because she's a girl hanging out with gamers, she's supposed to get special treatment? Ignore that idiot. Have a seat. By the way, I'm Chase.
I'm Rachel.
Wait, did I hear that right? We've actually got a girl with us?
The curly-haired guy sitting next to Alex finally looked up from his tablet and flashed me a playful smile. I was this close to squealing with excitement right there on the spot. Wait, you're Hunter. Dude, your streams are insane.
It's always nice to meet a fan, especially a cute one.
I could feel my face turning bright red. By then, a young man stepped onto the bus.
I'm Peter, the focus group supervisor. If everyone's settled in, we'll be heading to the testing facility. Oh, and one more thing. I'll need everyone to hand over their phones and other devices for now. Why exactly? Genesis hasn't been officially released yet. We'd like to avoid any leaks.
Everyone handed over their phones, and the bus pulled away. Everything was going perfectly, until we almost got into an accident. The driver hit the brakes to avoid a collision, hard enough to send me flying forward and straight into the seat in front of me. Sparks flashed before my eyes, and everything went dark for a second. But then I was fine again.
You okay?
I think I'm okay. Apparently, the testing facility was really far away because it got dark and we just kept going. Eventually, everyone fell asleep. And when we finally opened our eyes, the bus was parked in the middle of a fenced-off compound.
We're here.
We were taken into some old building. The testing facility looked more like a prison. Heavy metal doors, security cameras everywhere. Then they handed us identical orange uniforms and assigned us to different rooms, which for some reason were called cells.
All right, cell 12, Chase, Rachel, Hunter, and Alex.
I didn't like this place, and I definitely didn't like sharing a room with a bunch of guys, especially Alex. But I reminded myself that the testing would only last 3 days. Then I'd get paid and walk away with a bunch of free stuff. First, they had us sign contracts. Then, instead of an actual dinner, Peter showed up with cold pizza covered in spicy sausage.
Wait, that's all we get? I'm telling my followers the creator of Genesis fed us like prisoners in the Middle Ages. No, you're not. According to the contract, you're not allowed to share anything that happens inside this testing facility. And if anyone leaves before the testing is over, the contract becomes void, which means you can forget about the money. Have a great stay.
You guys can have my slice. I don't eat meat anyway. My head was still hurting a little where I'd hit it earlier. I drank some water and went to bed. The testing was supposed to start the next morning. Everyone was dying to see the game that was rumored to change the entire industry. I woke up in the middle of the night because I was absolutely starving.
Can't sleep because your stomach sounds like a dying lawnmower.
Sorry. I pressed a pillow against my stomach, hoping my stomach would quiet down. Then Chase sat up, pulled an apple out of his backpack, and sat down beside me.
Here.
Thanks. That's the second time you've rescued me.
I like team-based games. Looking out for each other is kind of the whole point. Same goes for real life.
I get that. I was sick a lot when I was a kid and missed a ton of school. It made it hard to make friends. Video games became the only place where I didn't feel alone.
Games are kind of an escape for me too. My parents are always fighting and we're constantly short on money, so I hide out in video games instead. Can you two shut up already? Some of us are trying to sleep.
Sorry. The next morning, instead of a proper breakfast, we got water and some crackers. But honestly, food was the last thing on my mind. I wanted to check out the game as soon as possible. We were taken to a large room filled with computers. We all sat down, launched the game, and started playing. Within a couple of minutes, disappointed groans echoed through the room. The game was terrible. It looked like some cheap school project. Outdated graphics, no plot, nothing.
This is the masterpiece we've been hearing about? Something bothering you? You're always free to leave the test early.
I'm pretty sure Hunter would have gotten out of there a long time ago if it wasn't for the money. So he just pressed his lips together and stopped complaining. When the four of us got back to our cell, we started trying to figure out what was really going on. The whole world is waiting for Genesis to come out, but it looks like a Tetris knockoff. Alex stared thoughtfully at the security camera hanging in the corner.
I think I get it. They're not testing the game. They're testing us. Dude, what are you talking about? I'm telling you, we're in some kind of psychological experiment. Great, one of us has already lost it.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense. There has to be a reason they're keeping us in a place this weird and barely feeding us. Maybe they're waiting for us to start fighting with each other. Chase, what do you think?
I think if we don't like what's going on here, we can always leave. And give up the money? Not a chance!
We should talk to the other guys and see what they think. Chase and I checked out the neighboring cells and found out that several guys had already left after seeing how disappointing the game was. The number of participants was shrinking, but the number of questions kept growing. When I got back to our room, I looked at the security camera. Something felt off. The indicator light hadn't blinked once. I asked Chase to give me a boost and took the camera down. It's a fake! Which means we can forget the whole experiment theory.
Why?
Because if someone was actually watching us, the cameras would be real. Somebody just wanted us to think we were being watched.
You're pretty smart for a girl.
For a girl? I wanted to smack Hunter with the camera, but I held back because the last thing we needed was even more attention. Wow, thanks. My headache started acting up again, so I spent the rest of the day wandering the hallways and checking the place out. In some spots, old mounting brackets were still attached to the walls. In others, rusty steel beams stuck out overhead. This really is some abandoned factory. Suddenly, I heard a voice around the corner. I carefully peeked out and saw Peter talking on the phone.
Yeah, everything's going according to plan. How about on your end? Nobody outside has figured anything out, right? Excellent.
I didn't even bother pretending I stumbled across him by accident. Peter, who are you talking to?
Talking to?
On the phone, just now.
You must have imagined it. There's no signal out here.
Oh, how convenient. In that case, maybe you could give me my phone back so I can check for myself?
Your phones are being kept outside the compound in a secure safe. You'll get them back as soon as the testing is over. Or if you decide to leave the project early. So, what do you say?
No thanks. I think I'll stick around. Peter smiled, but his eyes stayed cold. I was getting on his nerves, and the feeling was mutual. When I got back to cell 12, Alex was the only one there, and that idiot was digging through my backpack. Have you completely lost your mind? I was ready for another sarcastic comment, but Alex was looking at me with panic in his eyes. One hand was pressed against his stomach. That's when it all clicked. I pulled off Alex's cap, revealing a short haircut that was, nevertheless, unmistakably feminine. You're a girl.
Wow, congratulations. Case solved.
Then why were you so awful to me?
Because girls like you are the reason nobody takes female gamers seriously.
Everyone thinks girls only get into gaming because they want guys' attention. I'm not going to apologize for being born a girl. I'm proud of who I am.
Then why didn't you call Hunter out when he said you were smart for a girl?
Because I had enough common sense not to start a fight. It's Hunter's parents' job to teach him better, not mine. But why are you pretending to be a guy?
Because it's easier. Nobody says, not bad for a girl. Nobody tries to explain the rules of a game you're already better at than they are.
Alex felt vulnerable, and in a way, I understood her. So I dropped the interrogation and pulled a small pack of feminine hygiene products out of my backpack. Here, is this what you were looking for? She nodded awkwardly and disappeared into the bathroom. The next morning was the second day of testing. Even more people were gone, and some of the computers sat empty. A few of the guys couldn't take it anymore and quit right in the middle of a round.
Ugh, I'm going home. This is way too boring. I'd rather do literally anything else.
The moment before he left the project, a new theory popped into my mind. When we got back to our cell, I shared it with the others. What if our parents are behind all this? Like, what if they're trying to cure us of gaming? Show us how boring games supposedly are and all that.
Actually, my parents really do hate how much time I spend at my computer. Well, my folks love the fact that I make money playing video games. I've got a different theory. We're all dying to hear it. We're inside a game, a simulation. Think about it. That's why everything around us is so weird. Whoa, the graphics are insane. I wonder if fall damage is turned on. What happens if I jump off the locker?
Don't even think about it.
You guys are no fun.
And how was I ever a fan of this idiot? My headache came back, so I decided to take a nap. But when I opened my eyes, there was nobody in the cell. The weirdest part was that all of Hunter's stuff was gone too, including his backpack. But there was no way he'd left on his own. Hunter wanted that payout way too badly. So his disappearance immediately worried me. I stepped into the hallway and checked the neighboring cells. They were empty too. Where did everyone go? Maybe they went outside. Except every main door was locked, even though Peter had said we were free to leave whenever we wanted. Then I noticed a door nearby that was slightly open. 2 people were arguing inside. I stopped and listened. A chill ran down my spine. How did I get myself into this? Either I beat this level right now or I'm stuck here for a very long time. Maybe forever.
There you are. Alex, you're a girl?
No time to explain. Something's wrong with Rachel.
What happened? Come with me, you'll see. Rachel, are you okay?
No, but does it even matter? None of this is real anyway. It's all happening inside my head.
What are you talking about?
Remember when we almost got into that accident on the way here? I hit my head. I think I slipped into a coma. All the weird stuff that's been happening here only exists in my mind. Chase looked at the bump on my forehead, then let out a small sigh of relief.
Rachel, it's just a little bump. You're fine. Nothing serious.
Meanwhile, my real body is probably lying in a hospital bed. My parents are probably sitting beside me crying. Chase let out a long, exhausted sigh, like his patience had officially submitted its resignation.
That's it! I've had enough! You want the truth? I'm a part of an esports team. Peter is too. He's our captain. A while back, we found out that a game studio was recruiting players of different skill levels to test a new game. But nobody from our team got picked for the focus group, and every one of us needed the money. We emailed the developers and tried to convince them that we were professionals and better than any casual player. They told us that they specifically were looking for regular gamers. But if one of the selected focus groups dropped out for some reason, they'd invite us instead. The problem was, who would ever pass up an opportunity like that? That's when Peter came up with a crazy plan. We sent a fake bus to the meeting point and picked up the participants 5 minutes before the real one arrived. We brought everyone here. We made up a fake contract so none of you would tell anyone what happened and so we wouldn't get in trouble, and to make sure nobody came after us, for the promised money, we showed a terrible game and created awful conditions. We wanted people to leave on their own, technically breaking the contract, while Peter, I, and a few other teammates stayed here to watch over you. The rest of the team took your spots in the real testing program. You guys are insane! We weren't trying to hurt anyone. For you, it was supposed to be a weird little adventure. For us, it was a chance to make some money. And everything was working perfectly. Until that idiot Hunter suddenly decided he was living inside a simulation. He wanted to test his abilities, so he jumped off a staircase. Genius broke his leg and we had to take him to the hospital. And now Rachel has convinced herself she's in a coma. This is getting way out of hand.
Thanks for the fascinating story. I've been waiting for you to confess.
Wait, you knew all along?
Not exactly. After I woke up and discovered Hunter had disappeared, I was ready to believe just about anything. But what I heard through that half-open door turned out to be worse than any theory I'd come up with.
Hunter's in the hospital. This has gotten completely out of control. We need to shut this down and send the others home. Quite the opposite. I locked the door so nobody leaves until I figure out what we're going to do next.
That's when I realized I needed to get out of here as fast as possible. But first, I was going to find out why Peter and his accomplices had brought us here in the first place. I tracked down Alex, and together we came up with a plan to get the truth out of you, Chase. You know what's the worst part? You seemed so normal, so genuine. But the whole time, you were just making sure everything went according to plan.
I wasn't pretending to be someone else. I was being myself, the real me. But I'm a team player, Rachel. You remember that, right? I couldn't just walk away and let my whole team down. I really did need the money. I wanted to get away from my abusive parents and start over. But I know I crossed a line.
Chase let out a heavy sigh and pulled a set of keys from his pocket.
Come on, I'll unlock the door.
Honestly, I was expecting a catch. I kept waiting for Peter to jump out and stop us at the exit, but nothing happened. Chase simply unlocked the door and we walked outside. Just a few minutes later, we heard police sirens. It turned out Hunter had told the hospital staff everything. The cops contacted the developers of Genesis and discovered they had absolutely nothing to do with the factory. Once that happened, the whole scheme started unraveling. Before long, every member of Chase's team was sentenced to community service. As for Peter, the only adult involved, and the one who actually deserved real jail time, he ran off and left his friends to deal with the consequences. Not exactly captain-worthy behavior. As for me, I thought my parents would completely ban me from playing video games after everything that happened. But it was the opposite. My parents decided that the real world was way too dangerous. Honestly, they would have been perfectly happy if I never left my room again. But I learned that sometimes you have to pause the game and focus on real life. Because it is way harder than any video game. There are no checkpoints, no cheat codes, and that's exactly what makes it so valuable.
Hey look, it's Chase.
Looks like he's doing his community service. But maybe real life has something in common with video games after all. Maybe everyone deserves a second chance. What do you think? Should I go talk to Chase?